Hello guys, good day and welcome to today's video. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at domain name and hosting, how to purchase a domain name as well a hosting plan for your website. If you're new to this channel, you're welcome to Mentor My Tech and kindly hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you get notified once you drop a new video. Do not forget to share this video to people you know this video is going to be beneficial to, and also like the video, drop a comment in the comment section and share this video as well. All right, so with that being said, we're going to go straight into today's training. And like I said, we'll be looking at domain name and hosting. What's a domain name, and as well what's a hosting plan, and how you can purchase a domain name and hosting for your website. All right, so with that being said, we're going to the training full time now. So a domain name simply means the identification of your website. It's what your website is being identified by, the name of your website. All right, every website on the World Wide Web has a name. All right, every website on the World Wide Web has a name. Okay, so without a name, the website cannot exist in the first place. Just like a human being, as a human being is being born into the world, the first thing the parents do to that child is to give the child a name. Without a name, the child is not going to be able to be identified properly. Okay, animals have name, objects have names. Same thing with your website. Your website has a name which is called the domain name. So going online, let's check the Google definition of what a domain name is. All right, what's a domain name? A domain name, okay, we don't actually have the definition right here. What is a domain? Here, a domain name in the internet. A domain name is a string that identifies a realm of administrative autonomy, authority, or control. Domain names are often used to identify services provided through the internet, such as websites, email services, and more. Okay, so just same thing with what I explained earlier. A domain name is the name of your website, is what your website is being identified by. And without the name, your website cannot exist online. So the very first step in designing a website is to have a domain name for your website. All right. And there are three rules that Google has given us in purchasing a domain name. Number one, your domain name must be short. Number two, it must be easy to pronounce. And number three, it must contain your company's name. Your domain must be short, easy to pronounce, and contain your company's name. Now, just like the name Google, Google is the name of a company or an online service provider. Google. Now, the name Google is a name of a company or a name of a business, whatever, and the name is just Google. Now, this is the name of the website. Now, Google itself is a company, and as well is also a website. Now, if you go online and check for google.com, if you go online and check for google.com, the website is going to come up on your screen. All right, and when this website comes up on your screen, it's going to take you over to the Google search engine where you can browse up anything you want. All right, so you can see the name google.com. It is short, it is easy to pronounce, and it contains their company's name. It contains their company's name. That's how a proper domain name is supposed to be. It's not that it must be as short as that of Google, all right? It could be a little longer, but it should be short somehow. Now, there are some people who want to purchase domain names and they are having a domain name that's as long as this. There are a lot of websites like that online. They have a domain name as long as that. They want to include everything about their whole business name into their domain name and purchase it and put it online. No, that's very wrong. Your domain name must be short, easy to pronounce, and contain your company's name. If your business name, which is registered with CAC or whatever, is very, very, very long, what you need to do is shorten that name so that it becomes so short that when you want to purchase the name, you are still within the three rules of Google. All right, so these are the rules that Google has given to us to purchase a domain name, and we should always go with that rule. All right, so to purchase a domain name, I'm going to be showing you how you can actually do that. The next thing I'm going to be talking about right now on this video is what is a hosting plan, or what is a host, or what is a hosting rather. Okay, so a web hosting is a service, or is a service type of internet hosting that hosts websites for clients, offers the facilities required for them to create and maintain a site, and makes it accessible on the World Wide Web. Now, when you purchase a domain name, you don't just stop there. You go on to purchase a hosting plan for your website. All right. Without the hosting plan, your website cannot go online. It's not enough that you just have a domain name. Your domain name is just the name of the site. All right. You still need to have a hosting plan for your website to be able to function. Okay, so when you purchase a domain name, you purchase a hosting plan alongside, and you merge the two together, which I'm going to be showing you the video how to do all of these things. You merge the two together, add a hosting plan to your domain. When you merge them together, you put it online and you are able to maintain all your website files, your web mails, and all of that. So the hosting plan is a platform that gives you access to maintain your website or to run your website effectively. That's where you create your web mails from. That is where you create your site security from. That's where you create autoresponders, email forwarders, and all of that. That's where you also create or you have your file manager to store and manage all your files for your website. All right, so that's the work of this hosting. Now, when you purchase a hosting plan, I'm going to give you a cPanel login details. This panel login details is where you can actually have so what gives you access to log into the cPanel, which your hosting provider or your hosting service is going to give to you. Okay, so when you get the cPanel login details, you're able to log into your cPanel and you can have access to operate your hosting effectively. All right, so with that being said, we're going to be looking at how you can actually purchase a domain name and a hosting plan right now. So we have what we call the domain name registrars, okay, domain name registrars, and we also have hosting providers or host providers or host service, okay, web hosting providers. Now, these two people, they are actually offering different services. For the domain name registrars, they sell domain names and you can purchase a domain name from them and register it, pay to them, they register it for you and give you access to it. Okay, while for the hosting, they give you a web host. That's where you get your cPanel from, for you to be able to log in to your cPanel and do manage your whole website. All right, so these two people, sometimes one business can actually be performing the two services, which is the service of the domain registrar and also a web host. Okay, while some registrars, they only just sell domain names and you go and purchase your hosting somewhere else and link them up together. That's also very possible. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you domain name registrars that also offer the web hosting services, so it can be easier for you to just purchase your domain name alongside your hosting together, make your payment once, and you receive access to everything at the same time. All right, so we have what we call the domain registrars, and some domain registrars on our list. We have Namecheap, we have Q servers, which is a Nigerian hosting. Namecheap is a foreign hosting. We have Namecheap, Q servers. Who Host is a Nigerian hosting. We also have whois.com. It's a Nigerian hosting, and they also perform another service which I'm going to be explaining to you later. All right, so we have whois.com. We also have Bluehost. We have Bluehost. We have NameSilo and all of that. So these are the ones that we have GoDaddy as well. These are some of them that you can actually use that actually works very fine. So you can try some of these out and use them to do your domain registration and web hosting services as well. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to be showing you how to purchase a domain name and hosting from two of these platforms. I'm going to be using QServers, which is a Nigerian platform, and I'll be using Namecheap as well, which is a foreign platform. So I'll be taking you through the whole process of doing this whole thing. So first of all, we're going to be using QServers. I'm going to the QServers website. It's just qservers.net. All right, qservers.net. So when you click on that, it's going to take you over to their platform, their website. And like I said, it's a Nigerian hosting service or a Nigerian domain registrar. You can see it on the description here. Nigerian's best rated web host. Okay, so yeah, this is Q Server's platform, and this is what the whole platform is all about. Okay, so when you come over here, you just simply search for the search bar. You look for the search bar where you can put in what you want to purchase and check if it's available. All right, so coming down here, you're going to see domain search, and this is the search bar right here. So now you're supposed to enter in what you want to actually buy in here. Okay, it's just like you going over to e-commerce platforms. For those of you who might be in Nigeria, like Jumia and all of that, and searching for a particular product. When you see it, you add it to your cart and you make payment, and they start the shipment down to you. Same thing you do on these platforms. You come over here, check for the search bar, enter in what you want to buy, and let's take for example the name we want to buy is branddiv.com. Okay, let's take for example want to purchase something like this, branddiv.com. All right, so when we check for that, we're going to click on search to check if this name is actually available. I'm just going to be using this as an example for the purpose of this tutorial. So if it's available, they're going to tell you congratulations, branddiv.com, it's available. Now before we continue doing any other thing, one thing I would like to talk about is what we call domain extensions. It's something I makes why recording this video from the beginning. Now we have what we call domain extensions. Domain extensions are what comes after the domain name. Now a domain name is actually divided into three parts. A domain name is divided into three parts. Now let me come over to a new browser and type in something here for you. www.google.com. Okay, now this is a domain name, www.google.com. If you search this name out on your browser, it's going to open up a website for you, and this is the name right here, www.google.com. Now a domain name is divided into three parts. Okay, a domain name is divided into three parts. We have the prefix, we have the main, and we have the suffix. The prefix is what comes before the main name, and the suffix is what comes after the main name. All right, so www is the prefix. Now Google itself here is the main name, main, the main name. Alright, so while .com, which is after the main name, is what we call the suffix. So stuffs like .com, .ng, .com.ng, they are suffix of a domain name and also called the extensions of a domain name. Alright, they are called the extensions. Now, when you want to purchase a website, you need to check out for the extensions and know which one you are using. So we have a variety of extensions. We have a whole lot of extensions. If you check on my screen, going below this, congratulations, brandif.com is available. If you go down, you're going to be seeing a lot of suggestions they are giving to us right here of other domain names that are available. I can see a lot of extensions that are attached to these names. We have ig.gov.ng, we have os.gov.ng, we have ab.gov.ng, we have ak.gov.ng, we have .com.ng, an.gov.ng, and a whole lot of them right here. So these names, if you also notice, they have different pricings. All right, they have different pricing. Now the pricing here for a .com extension is 9,900 naira. All right, so coming down here, a .gov.ng is 10,000 naira. A .org.ng is 1,100. A .gov.ng is 10,000 naira, and a .school.ng is 1,100 naira only. All right, so these different extensions on Q servers, they have different pricing rates. Okay, so we have different extensions. We have .ng, .com, .net, .org, .info, .tv, .biz, .com.ng, .net.ag, and a lot more of them. Okay, now you may ask, what are the use of these extensions, and also how do you know the proper extension to use for a website? Every website has its own type of extension that should be used. You don't just go online and say, oh, I want to build this website, and because this one is cheaper, like we can see here on Q servers, they have different prices, and because maybe you don't want to spend more, you just say, there's one of 1,100 here, or there's one of 1,000 naira here, let me just purchase that one and use it for this site. No, you don't do that. You need to check for the type of website you are building, so you can know the type of domain name the type of extension you need to use for that website. If you are building a website for a church, it's not proper for you to use a .com extension for that church or a .com.ng extension for that church. No, you go on and use something like .org, because a church is an organization and not a company. All right, it's not a company, it's an organization. So you go on and use something like .org. Although there are some churches I see today that use .com on their extensions, it is 100% very wrong. All right, so it's more proper you use the .org extension, and don't go on and use the .edu or .gov extension. They are also very wrong. All right, now if you are building a website for a government agency, maybe a state government, a local government, or a government parastatus, you use something like .gov. Okay, you use something like .gov to build that website. If you are building something for a school, you can use .school.ng, or if you can see a proper school extension, you can also use that as well. You can also use .edu for a school as well. You can use .org extension for a school as well. It also works. All right. Now the .com means company. It stands for company, and we have different type of .com extension. We have the .com.uk, .com.us. We have the normal .com. We also have the .com.ng. Now the .com extension here on Q servers is about 9,900, and the .com.ng extension is 1,000 naira. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that when you're building a website, check for the type of website you are building for, so you know the type of extension or the type of extension you need to purchase for that particular website. All right, moving on, we're going to click on search and check if this name is available. And yes, brandif.net.ng is available as well, and it's selling for 1,100. But let's say we want to check for .org, and let's say the price, it's selling for 11,700. Now scrolling down here, we're going to click on continue, right? To continue to add it to cart and make payment. Now when coming over here, they're going to tell you that brandif.org has no hosting added to it. Now for some people who already have the idea of these things, if you don't, you can actually do what they call add-on domain. All right, linking a already existing or a new website you want to purchase to an already existing hosting. But since you are not doing any of those here, we're going to need to add a hosting to this website, so it can have its own personal hosting for this particular domain and have access to a cPanel. All right, so we're going to click on no hosting, click to add hosting, and they're going to show us the different packages of the hosting plans they have. All right, so we have the one which is starter pack, 900 naira monthly and 9,000 naira annually. We have the business pack, which is 1,500 naira monthly and 50,000 naira annually. We have 2,000 naira monthly and 20,000 naira annually developer pack. Professional pack, 2,900 monthly and 29,000 naira annually. Now, all of these things perform the same work, which is to host your website online. Every of this pack. We have the 50 gigabytes Linux hosting, which is 6,000 naira monthly and 60,000 naira annually. Everything perform the same function of hosting your website online, but there are specifications to these various things. All right, there are specifications to these various things. Now, let me use the most simplest and basic example we can use. Now, let's take for example, you want to purchase a phone. All right, let's take for example, you want to purchase a phone. For example, an iPhone. Now, iPhone sometimes they make a particular brand of phone in three different types. You can have the iPhone 13 mini, we can have the iPhone 13 proper, we have the iPhone 13 Pro, we have the iPhone 13 Pro Max. All right, so one iPhone 13 now has four different phones attached to that name iPhone 14. iPhone 14 mini, iPhone 13 mini, iPhone 13, iPhone 13 Pro, and iPhone 13 Pro Max. All right. Now, these different phones, they are all iPhone 13, but because of the various specifications, attached to these various phones, they make the pricing different and also make the phone also different. Now, not because they are having one name which is iPhone 13 means they perform the same functions or they have the same specifications attached to all of them. No. Now, these various phones, one might be iPhone 13 128 gigabyte. The other one might be iPhone 13 Pro Max 256 gigabytes. Now, the pricing for that 256 gigabyte iPhone 13 Pro Max will definitely be different from the pricing of the iPhone 13, which is about 128 gigabytes. Do you get that? Now, even that iPhone 13 itself can also vary in pricing. You might be having the iPhone 13 128 gigabytes and also the iPhone 13 256 gigabytes. The pricing of the 256 gigabyte might be 400,000 naira, and the pricing of the 13 128 gigabytes might be let's say 350 or 300,000 naira. Now, because of the specifications attached to these various phones, it makes the pricing always different. Same thing here happens when you are purchasing a hosting plan. Now, let me give you another example to explain this thing properly. You want to rent an apartment, all right, and they tell you a duplex with 5 bedroom is 10 million naira every year, and they tell you again a duplex with 2 bedroom is 3 million naira every year. Now, these various houses are both duplex, all right, they are both duplex. They have two sitting rooms, they have a proper kitchen, they have all the fittings that a house is supposed to have. But because of the various specifications, one is a 5 bedroom duplex and the other is a 2 bedroom duplex, you can't expect the two prices to be the same thing. They both perform the function which a house is to provide, which is what? Shelter. They both perform that function. And their prices are different because of the specifications attached to the building. One is a 5 bedroom, the other is a 2 bedroom. All right, same thing happens here on the hosting plan. Every of these hosting plan you are seeing here has its own specifications. Now you can see the one of 900 naira monthly and 9,000 naira annually. It has 6 MB web space, 30,000 MB bandwidth, unlimited email account, unlimited SQL, and 5 subdomains. All right. For the business pack, we have 10,000 MB web space. Now you can see this is 6,000 and this is 10,000. 40,000 bandwidth and this is 30,000 bandwidth. Unlimited email account, same thing here. This is 10 subdomains and this one has 5 subdomains. Coming here, we have 80,000 bandwidth, 20,000 web space, unlimited email account, and 20 subdomains. All right. So the specifications of these various packs makes their pricing always different. All right. So right now we're going to place order for this particular starter pack because this one is actually very okay for every type of website you want to design. All right, if you want to build a normal career website, a business simple website, and all of that, this starter pack can actually get everything you want to do done with ease. Okay, so when you're building more complicated stuff is when you actually go for this higher hosting plans. But for every website I've built, right, I normally use this one of 900 naira monthly and 9,000 naira annually. So I'm going to place order for this, and it's going to take you here. Now they will ask you product selection. Now please provide the domain name you want to use for this hosting service by selecting an option from the sections below. All right, so they're going to ask you if you want to use a domain name already in your shopping cart, or you want to register a new domain, or you want to transfer your domain from another registrar, or you want to use an existing domain and update your name servers. All right, so what we want to use is the domain already in our shopping cart. Okay, so this is the domain already in our shopping cart. So we're going to click on continue, and it's going to load up the next page for us. All right. Okay, so this is the next page loaded up, and this is where we choose the billing cycle of how much we want to be paying for this particular hosting plan. Now, this particular hosting plan has various hosting payment plans. We have the 900 naira monthly, where you get to pay 900 naira every month, and when you do not pay, they suspend your hosting for the period of which you do not make your payment. And it's not actually advisable you leave your website to be suspended first before you go on to actually renew that site. All right. So once you get a notification that okay, because they send you a reminder normally and they tell you okay in a week time or something like that, your hosting is going to be expired. All right. So when they send you that notification, all you need to do is go over to your account, make your payment for it, and get that done with. All right. So when you do not make your payment on time, it affects the ranking of your website. If you are someone who does SEO on your site, it affects it a lot, and also some other little things. All right. So always make sure you pay for your hosting. You can pay 900 monthly, 2,700 naira quarterly, 5,400 naira semi-annually, 9,900 naira annually, 18,000 naira biennially, and 27,000 naira triennially. All right. Okay, so now we're going to choose the hosting plan we want. Now, this 2,700 a month quarterly is for about 3 months or 4 months. This 5,400 naira semi-annually, you know what that is. For the 9,000 naira annually means a full year. This is for 6 months. This is a full year. This is for 2 years, and this is for 3 years. Okay, so you can make your payment for the period of time you are capable of making your payment for. So sometimes some people go with the 900, 2,700, 5,400, or the 9,000. So I'm going to be going with the 9,000 naira for annually. And when you do that, you see the total amount for the hosting becomes 9,675 naira plus tax, VAT, and all of that. Okay, so I'm going with the starter pack 9,000. But if you're going with the one of 900, your total amount becomes 967 naira, and just like that. Okay, so here you can add all of these if you want them, but many a times I do not add any of this. Komodo and positive SSL certificates, you can get that for free on your cPanel. So we're just going to click on continue and move over to the next step. All right, so here they tell you your hosting has been added, so we're just going to click on continue right here. Now do not add any of this here. DNS management is free. Domain whois protection is 5,300 naira here. Now what the domain whois protection is all about is simply protecting your information online. Now when you're registering your domain name, there's some information you enter about yourself, like your name, address, phone number, and stuff like that. All right, so if you want to protect all of those information online, you can pay for the whois protection and they protect that for you. But many a times I don't use this because you are not doing anything fraudulent online or stuff like that. Okay, so you're just going to click on continue, and it's going to take you to the next page, which you on the review and checkout. So your total here you are making payment for is 12,575 77. Okay, so we have a total of 12,577 naira on our review and checkout page. This is the total amount we are paying for. Now you have an option of removing anything here from your cart, and it's going to affect the price, which is either going to make it reduce, or you can click on continue shopping to add more things, and the price is actually going to increase. All right, so scrolling down, you have seen the total amount of money you are paying, but you don't just make the payment right from here. Okay, so we're going to scroll down and enter in our details, just like you do on other e-commerce platforms like Jumia and all of that. When you want to purchase something, you need to have an account with them. So creating an account, you can either enter in all your details here, and when you do that, you have an account created for yourself, a password, and all of that. So when you do that, you have an account created for yourself, and you can go ahead with your purchase. But if you do not have an account created, you cannot make a purchase. Okay, so we are going to be doing same thing here, creating an account, or if you are an already existing customer, you use your already existing account. Okay, so for a new customer, these are the things you need to fill in: your first name, last name, company name, email address, password. We also go to the other part. We have address. You can enter your address one, address two, your city, state and region, zip code, country, phone number. Then they'll ask you how did you find us. You enter that in SMS alert if you receive SMS, and GSM number. So when you do all of that and they are correct, you just go ahead and create your account, and your account is going to be created. But since I already have an existing account, I'm just going to enter my email and my password. All right. So I'm going to enter in my password for this account. Okay, yes, this is correct. So scrolling down, we're going to go scroll to the top and the bottom, and you see I have read and agreed to the terms and service. Then click on checkout. So I'm going to agree to this and click on checkout. Okay, So the information we entered is wrong. So I'm going to enter in information again and um create this to log in. So you're going to click on checkout again. It's loading, so we just wait for it to load. And if the details are correct, it takes us to the checkout page. But I think the details are correct, so it's loading to the next page for us. Okay, so the information we entered is 100% correct. And you can see something is loading on the screen, but if you look behind what is loading, you can see the receipt for what we are paying for. Okay, so I want to cancel this payment. All right, so this is the receipt right here. Now it's showing you the invoice, or sorry, the invoice of what you purchased, and it's showing you unpaid on the invoice. Okay, so they are telling you pay to Q Servers Network. This invoice is for Portex Solutions. That is the name of my account. This is the invoice date. Pay via, these are the payment method here, and you can select the payment method you want. Either you pay through Rave by Flutterwave, or you use Paystack card debit payment. Okay. Yeah, this is, you can also apply credit if you already have money in your account. You can also use your account credit. But me, I just have 72 naira and I'm purchasing something of what? Um over 13,000 naira, so I can't apply my credit. Okay, but there are times you can just leave money in your account. It's also very advisable sometimes, so that maybe when your stuff wants, your hosting wants to expire, they can just debit your credit, your credit you have on your account, and help you renew it ASAP without you having to spend any of your cash in your bank. All right, so this is the invoice items, the things in your invoice or in your cart, whatever, and you can print your receipt out, download it or print it out if you want. Okay, so this is showing unpaid right here, and once you click on pay now, it's going to take you to your payments using Paystack debit or credit cards, since that's what we selected. All right, so we're going to click on pay now, and it's going to load up the payment page. So you can either use your card to make this payment, use your USSD to make the payment, your bank USSD. Now you just check for if your bank is available among these different banks listed here. For me, I use Union Bank, and if I click on pay 13,545, they will show me the USSD code I can enter in on my phone. And when I put the USSD code on my phone and I click on dial, it's going to bring up a place where my bank is going to ask me to enter in my PIN. And when I do that, they're immediately going to debit this amount from my account, and it will show here or reflect here that I've made the payment, and I'll be granted access to have my cPanel and all of that. You can also use bank, you can use barter and Pega as well. There are more options. You can use NQR code. Okay, you can use NQR code. Now, what you need to do for this code, you just go over to your bank and get your QR code, scan it, and yeah, they're going to make the payment for you. So after, right now, I'm not going to be purchasing this name because I don't need it. Okay, so once you make the payment for this, the next thing you're going to do is go over to your Gmail account. So I'm going to open my Gmail account right now. The Gmail linked to this account, all right? When you saw me log into my account, I use a Gmail saying I think brandif.com. All right, that was the email I used. All right, that was the email I used. So I'm going to go over to the Gmail linked to this account right here, and that is where the hosting company is going to be sending my receipt and also my web space details to. Okay, so I think I'm seeing some messages here. Let me quickly open them and see what they're talking about. Okay, so just like I was saying just now, your receipt and everything regarding what you're purchasing, they're going to send the email to your they're going to send a message to your email. All right, so you can see that we are trying to purchase this name just now, brandiv.org, and you can see the email right here. Now the details of your order are below. This is the order number and all of that. Total due today is 13,545, and because I've not paid this amount, that is why I've not received any other information regarding this. So everything they're just letting me know is that okay, yeah, this is my receipt for whatever thing I wanted to purchase, and yeah, all of that. So what you're actually going to be searching for here properly is the web space details um to the particular hosting account of the website we are about to purchase. Okay, so you can see one here. I'm trying to search for one and you can see it here. I purchased this name I think on March 25. I purchased it on March 25 and it's nigeriannews.ng. So when I click on it, my web space details, this is where I get to find my cPanel login details. Okay, this is where I get to find my cPanel login details. Now if you scroll down, you're going to see, scroll through this message, you're going to be seeing a place where they will say cPanel login details. All right, then you will see something like cPanel username, cPanel password, and the cPanel login URL. Now to log into your URL or your cPanel URL, what you need to enter in your browser is the website name slash cPanel. Okay, when you do this, it's going to take you over to the cPanel login area straight up. Okay, you enter in your domain name slash cPanel. So when you do that, it's going to load up your cPanel, login area for you, and so you can sign in and get into your dashboard. All right, so you do ask you to enter in your username. You just check if it's available here, and since it's not available here, I'm going to take it from this message here, get the password and also the username, and enter it on this place right here so we can log in. So let me quickly do that and continue. Okay, so once we log in, once you put in all of your details and click on login, it's going to take you over to this place. So this is the cPanel dashboard. All right, so like I said, there are a lot of things you can do here on the cPanel. You can create webmails, forwarders, email routing, autoresponders. You can manage all your web files, images, and all of that. You can manage your SQL database. You can manage your domains, metrics, security, install SSL from here, and a lot of other things you can do from here. Install WordPress and all of that. So every type of website you're building, even if you are building a website with codes, okay, HTML codes and all of that, you still need a cPanel. All right. If you are building a website with WordPress, you still need a cPanel. So the first step in building a website, no matter the type of pattern you're using to build a site, coding, WordPress, any of that, you still need a cPanel, you need a domain, you need a hosting plan, and you need your cPanel. All right, and these three things, they are linked together. Without a domain name, you can't have a hosting, and without a hosting, you can't have your domain name to work. All right, so when you do that, you get access to your cPanel, and we are on our cPanel right now. So in the next video I'm going to be making, I'm going to be talking about some of the things we have on our cPanel, explaining some of them here, like setting up email account, forwarders, autoresponders, how you can manage your files, how you can install WordPress and all of that. So that's what I'm going to be doing in our next video. So if you enjoyed this video, kindly hit the subscribe button if you have not done that yet. Like this video and share this video to your friends. Drop a comment in the comment section and turn on the notification bell so when we drop the continuation of this video or the next part of this video, you would be notified. All right, so thank you for watching and see you in our next video.